We're back. We're back up here on the stage at the Heartland Cafe. You're listening to another edition of the Live from the Heartland Show, featuring myself, Michael James, and my partner, Kate Hogan. And we are talking with Kimberly Bears of the Rogers Park Business Alliance. Kimberly, we made a long list while we were taking that nice musical break, and one of the things we want to know about is Hog Wild. What's that all about?
Yeah, so this is our third annual pig roast that we do. We're doing it in concert and celebration with the grand opening of the Glenwood Sunday Market. It's going to be tomorrow at noon, right in front of Sidecar Bar. So we're going to be at the on the block of Glenwood between Morse and Farwell, adjacent to Lifeline Theater.
And that's also kind of a homage to Neil Lifton, who brought us the pig roast.
Yeah.
And,
who had that bar before it became the...
Yeah. Well, and in fact, we're doing this with Mary Bow. She and Neil owned Duke's Bar, which is now Sidecar Bar. And Mary has been a really terrific community booster and supporter. And she wanted to do this again this year in honor of Neil. And we're...
So it kicks off at noon. If you're not a hog eater...
Oh, we got plenty of veggie options.
Yeah, we're giving you up some veggie chili, along with buffalo chili.
Plenty of veggie options.
Cool.
Yep.
And it kicks off at noon and goes till...
Noon to 4. Okay. And the fun thing about this, it's an all-you-can-eat. We're going to have vegan chocolate. We've got lots of veggie options. We've got meat stuff for meat eaters and entertainment. And then it's also, what I love about the event is it's communal-style eating. Right. So we pull out these big, long tables, and typical Rogers Park fashion, it's like
Glenwood Avenue slow food.
Yeah. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah. I look forward to it because all I've done is deliver food the last couple of years, but they got somebody else hosting here.
All right.
So Katie's going to be there at the Hog Wild tomorrow.
So all the Katie fans,
oh yeah,
follow her to Hog Wild.
Hallelujah.
He's untamed, folks. There's nothing I can do. So it's going to overlap with the first annual...
First outdoor this spring.
First outdoor, right.
Yeah.
They've been doing it indoors throughout the winter once a month, but now
and it
moved
is
to
the Glenwood Avenue Market.
The Glenwood Sunday Market, yep.
Glenwood Sunday Market.
Yeah. Glenwood Sunday Market. So this is our big kickoff for the outdoor season. We've got 22 weeks of outdoor markets. And so the market will be just the block south.
We do have a little challenge going on in our neighborhood.
Right.
Those
Yes,
of
we
you
do.
who have been here in the last couple of days know that as progress comes, it also comes with some challenges. And we are getting a beautiful new L station built. It'll actually start June 29th. For 6 weeks, the L will be closed, so we're going to encourage you to ride your bikes and walk. But in the interim, there's some track work going on. First this week, tracks 1 and 2 of 4, and then in 2 weeks, tracks 3 and 4. So they've got the entire neighborhood locked down, so to speak. This is like the NATO demonstrations.
Only in the
only in our neighborhood. It's supposedly hard to drive around, although I've been whipping around these blockades for the last 2 days.
It's only hard to drive if you follow the
rules.
Follow the rules.
So, Kimberly, give us a little update about what's going on, and tell us as much as you want. Be as diplomatic as you need to be.
Yeah, well, I'm on radio, so I'll
but you can see you in a week on www.youtube.com/Heartland Media.
Well, either way, I'll keep my cursing to a minimum.
Your gorgeous self will be able to be viewed talking about all matters.
Yeah, I know you told me that, so I took the ball cap off.
Good either way.
Thanks, Michael. You're easy. So this is a project that the CTA has had in the works. It's a lot less than the Brown Line modernization plan that they did a few years ago.
I'm glad you clarified that because we're not getting a groovy new station.
No. It's not a new station. These are enhancements. So they're coming in to fix major structural issues that have been wrong with the station, but we're not getting a brand new station. We're just having enough work to be extremely painful in the neighborhood.
Right.
So what they're going to do, they're replacing tracks. They're putting down a new platform. The platform will be waterproof, so that means that the stores underneath the station, which for years have been unrentable because of these water leaks, should finally be usable, rentable, and we can get some good new businesses in there. And in the meantime, what the CTA and the contractor had proposed was essentially shutting down everything within a 4-block radius of the Morrison Lent station. So adding insult to injury, we'd been in conversation with the CTA for months about the project and what the impact would be on the neighborhood.
Specifically the murals,
the Glenwood Sunday Market.
The Million Mile murals, which have been painted every summer for the last 4 or 5
years. Yeah.
And then the Sunday Market, which occupies an entire block,
Not
2
to
blocks.
mention the Heartland Cafe, General Store, Buffalo Bar, Red Line Tap,
No Exit
Duke's,
Cafe.
No Exit Cafe.
Yeah.
Glenwood Bar,
Yeah.
Sidetrack, Lifeline Theater, Main Stage.
Right.
Sidecar.
What did I say?
Sidetrack.
Sidetracks.
Went on a sidetrack,
That's a different
Katie.
place.
Sidetrack is Art's place.
I'm going to open a sidetrack.
You can't. It's been done. I'm sorry. We ramble, but
Keep going.
Yeah, so-
Tell us about it.
you were
Right. So we were in conversation with them for months about what the impact would be, and the latest that we had heard as of Wednesday morning was the Glenwood Sunday Market is fine. You don't need to move. It'll be fine. Go ahead and continue merrily along. And then got an email Wednesday afternoon saying from the CTA that essentially plans had changed and the market should be moved, and that was it. That was our form of communication. And so you can, and we didn't get that. That email was sent to one of my staff members' personal accounts. That hasn't been used now in about a year or 18 months. So we really didn't find out about this until we all came into work on Thursday morning and saw the
That's
detour
when I
signs and
started
the
getting
barricades.
news from you guys.
Yeah. So I walked in the office and had 2 of my colleagues say, "Are you ready for some really disastrous news?" And I said, "Okay, let me take my bags off. Give me a second. Okay, go." And this was the news. So we went into high gear doesn't describe it. We went into super high gear and
High gear rage.
maniacal mode.
maniacal mode. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, and started getting on the phones, talking to the alderman's office, talking to the CTA, finding out what in the heck went wrong with our communication process and our expectations and our understanding. And so the alderman pulled a meeting together yesterday afternoon in his office with the CTA and all of those that would be affected. Majority of those that would be affected. Many. Yeah, I don't want to say all. Not everybody was in the room. We don't have a room that big.
That's right.
And
There's a lot of small business owners from the surrounding 3 blocks right here.
And the market people.
And the folks from the market and the
Mural
folks from
people.
Morse Market and a couple commissioners.
I mean, what we did immediately is we printed something and flew it off our copiers and got it out to every single business in that radius and said, "Hey, we've just learned that the CTA is shutting stuff down." So we wanted to let people know what we knew, which it wasn't that much, but it was better than nothing. So we got out that day. This is Thursday. We got out that day and got information to everybody, and then started what we do here in Rogers Park really well, the little phone tree and email communications back and forth. And yesterday we spent about 3 hours with the CTA, all of us in the CTA in the alderman's office, and said this is unacceptable, and we're not gonna take your crumbs.
Yeah, the guy came in apologetically. Let's make sure that people understood.
Yeah.
People understood by the time they appeared in front of this group that they needed to come in on bended knee, and the guy overdid it to a fairly well, and it didn't taste good in any way, shape, or form. And our alderman was slightly enraged as well.
Yeah, he'd been seeing red the night before, so he'd come down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He and I shared a couple choice words the night before.
As only you two could.
Yes.
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 So what's going to happen? Do we know yet? I know there's going to be another meeting. I know that the Glenwood Market is okay for this opening weekend, Sunday, tomorrow.
As is Hog Wild.
As is Hog Wild.
Right. Yeah.
Apparently you can still get to the Heartland. We're here.
Yeah, we're here. I got here. Well, and I do want to say that the Glenwood Sunday Market is going to continue. I think for whatever reason, people started to panic, and there were some rumors going around saying the market season is canceled. It's not. It's completely on. We know that we're in this location for the next 2 weeks. After that, we will see. And we're in a bit of a quandary. Or maybe an interesting situation because we at RPBA, we hold permits for the west side of Glenwood between Farwell and Lunt. And the project needs access to that area, they say, in order to go forward.
But
and
they don't have a permit.
have permits.
Right.
So we shall see. We shall see what happens.
You're in the catbird seat on this one, Kimberly.
Yeah, we got a lot of leverage.
And what was interesting about that meeting, it made me wonder when they called in. There was CTA representation. There was also the appearance of the contractors, who I respect a great deal. They know their business. They're pros, and they explained to us lay people, the bedding, the tracks, the whole process,
the ballast,
and also the ballast that is currently piled in a small mountain range on the other side of Glenwood Avenue from us on the east side. So, and we all explained to them, since you don't know the neighborhood, you might mistake Glenwood Avenue for an alley. Some people do.
Yeah.
Instead, it's one of the liveliest little pathways the neighborhood has.
Oh, alley.
And it is precious to us, not just the murals on the wall, but the cobblestones remaining on the street and our newly minted streetscape.
Right.
So there were a lot of things shared yesterday, and by the time we left, we were talking about using the alleyways in order to get, the theater folks shuttled to Lifeline and Theo Ubike at No Exit, and we were beginning to look at solutions. But it was a kind of a sacred little neighborhood process there yesterday, even as ornery and crazy as some of us felt, because that's the kind of problem solving that the entire planet needs, if I may say so.
We look forward to this, redone L. That's going to be nice.
Well, it's going to be safer, is also, and that's part of it.
It'll be cleaner. It'll be better looking.
We'll finally
it'll
get
be
the 20-year-old mural painted over out here, which will be really fun.
Yeah, touched, right?
Are we going to do? I said the guy said touched rather than destroyed.
Obliterate. Yeah.
But
yes, that will be touched.
Which mural are you talking about on the north side?
The one that we helped build.
The octopus.
You could do a new mural there.
Well,
me.
It'll be whitewashed by the time
it'll be
the
ready
CTA
for
has
it.
touched
All right,
it.
we're going to. We got about 7 more minutes before we're going to bring up our next guest, Jeff Shepard, and then I still want to ask Katie a few questions about NATO events because I wasn't here. So I want to ask Kimberly about the Rogers Park Garden Group's plant sale.
Yeah, this is a great group. It's one of my favorite groups in Rogers Park, and they've got a spring plant sale. It's a fundraiser for the Adopt the Public Way Grants program. So this is something that they started, I think about 4 years ago or so, where they raise money and they provide grants for people and organizations to adopt different public ways throughout the neighborhood. And the best example, or the example that I know best, is at Ravenswood and Lunt.
The Metro
tracks, yeah.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous
It's fantastic
community project.
Now. Yeah, so this plant sale is going to be at 1434 West Greenleaf Avenue in the backyard, Sunday, tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Right.
Again, just a great group.
Yeah.
Really great group of
And
folks.
if you're new to the neighborhood and you've never heard about the Rogers Park Garden Group, they do a wonderful garden walk late July, and they cover different little quadrants of the neighborhood each year, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
It's a
they've got
great
monthly
event.
meetings. They're a terrific resource for one another and for the neighborhood.
They
Kimberly
really are.
Bears, tell us about the mural projects that Rogers Park Business Alliance has been involved with and helped to go forward for a couple of years now.
Yeah, well, we'll be in our 5th year moving forward. I always have to give a shout out to Al Goldberg, whose idea this was. So Al's another commissioner along with Katie on the Clark Morse Glenwood SSA. And Al said, hey, we've got about a mile worth of retaining walls along the red line here in Rogers Park. Why don't we paint them? Why don't we do something with them? So the SSA has done this each year. This year we did a national call for artists. So we've got 2 artists coming in, Doze Green and Mir One. We've got a wall and an underpass identified for them to work on. They're going to be here somewhere around the beginning of July.
Boy, are they going to have a surprise, right?
Yeah, well, this is, never a dull moment here in Rogers Park,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but we're really, really excited about this. This is our first ever national call, and what we've done with the help of Leah Pinsky and Dustin Harris, who are our Mile of Murals coordinators. Leah is also the educational director at Lifeline Theater, and Dustin is a muralist and music artist and DJ. They're a husband-wife team, wife-husband team, terrific folks, local, and they've been coordinating the process for us the last 3 years, and so they put together
and growing
a whole,
Jasper at the same time.
yeah, and they've got a gorgeous baby boy, and they've been growing this project for us and managing and coordinating the project. So each year we identify a community partner. This year will be Sullivan High School.
Oh, cool.
So we've got Sullivan High School kids that are going to work on the project with us.
Then it's better it's closer to Pratt.
Yeah, well, I think the kids can walk another block or two, but they're high schoolers.
Discover your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Leah Pinsky's done great work. She and her husband both. I really love her name, Leap in Sky.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Oh,
that's great.
cool.
Leap in Sky.
Leap in
Yeah.
Sky.
Yeah.
Did she
Well,
point that out to you?
I think I figured it out, but
Whoa.
I'm not going to go into her email here. How about Kimberly? How about anything you would like to share with us in the last couple minutes of this segment of the Live from the Heartland show on June 2nd, 2012?
Well, we talked about a lot of events, and we've got even more than that planned. So don't forget about the Celebrate Clark Street Festival, which is going to be late July.
We'll definitely have somebody on this show to talk about that as it gets
Yeah, and
closer.
the
And we'll be there.
Glenwood Avenue Arts Fest we've got going.
Right.
And we'll be there.
We're looking at doing a carnival in Warren Park.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a partnership with Northside Community Resources, which is formerly Rogers Park Community Council.
Right.
So like the traveling carnival that goes to all the churches, they're going to bring them in? So we'll
Traveling
have
carnival that goes to churches.
Well, they
I
have
don't
carnivals
think so.
all around the city that some company that
We used to have it right on Ashland and Morris.
I know
Just
that one.
that kind of carnival?
It's bigger. This is a carnival that used to be at Warren Park. We're looking at bringing
yeah.
it back. So it's going to be even bigger than what we used to have at the corner of Morris and Ashland. Yeah. So we're talking about 14 mechanical rides.
There's
All kinds
something
of great
mythical
games
in
and-
all of our minds who grew up in the
Yeah.
50s and 60s about the neighborhood carnival coming into the
Yeah.
cities,
Yeah.
hoods.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Okay.
All right,
Anything else,
Kimberly.
We're done.
You want to be done, Michael?
Well, I'm just watching the clock, and I know that we've got Jeff coming up.
I know.
We're going
Oh.
to get him out of the corner.
Kimberly, thank you for all the good you do
Thanks.
for the hood.
It's a pleasure.
And I like
It's a real joy.
my best fun is running into you in the bar up the street after we've just had a hairy and emotional community meeting and tipping a glass with my
Yeah.
fellow business owner Renee, and I love my hood.
That's that small town community
again.
feel that I'm talking about. Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Thanks for all you do, and we'll have you up again soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're good. We'll bring you back.
All right.
All right, let's
passed the
have a
test.
big round of applause for
All right.
Kimberly Bears of the Rogers Park Business Alliance.
Thanks,
and you
everybody.
can see her on youtube.com/Heartland Media in a few more days after Paul puts it up. Paul, I want to ask you after the show, maybe take some pictures of the street blockaded off to intermingle with this footage. How's that for an idea?
Wow,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
All right, let's do it.
Glad we shared it
You're
with
out, and
everyone.
Here comes Jeff Shepard. Jeff Shepard is running up to the stage right now. He's got himself a Department of Commerce Bureau of the Census sweatshirt on. He's looking good. He's dressed for TV, radio and TV.
I'm dressed for radio.
Good morning to you.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Yeah, hi, Katie.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
We are the day after some fairly nasty job news. Something akin to 40 or 60,000 jobs is all that was created in the last.
68,000.
Is that it?
69.
Anyway, it's a drop in the bucket nationally and not enough. And some of us on the ground had an innate feeling that the recovery, so to speak, is moving a lot more slowly than media depicts it. And furthermore, just to throw this other slant in it, media doesn't much help educating people about what our economy is going through.
No, that's true.
Okay, so let's kick it off. What's gets your goat these days? Other than us being loud in the corner for the men's discussion group.
It has been a fascinating time the past few years since 08, and one of major questions I think the market's trying to figure out is, whether we're heading back into a continuation of a deep financial crisis. So we can talk about, I like to think about proximate causes and ultimate causes. The things that interest me are the ultimate causes, but the proximate are what's going on right now and what's getting the media. The more ultimate causes, I think, are these underlying drivers, long-term events, technological change, demographic changes, that is the heartbeat that people can't hear, that's causing a lot of what's going on. That I find interesting. We can talk about that, or we can talk about...
On your list of ultimate causes, is there possibly greed and corruption on the list? I mean,
greed and corruption. Personally, there's always humans are what they are, and we all have capacity for greed and for fear and love. Fear and love, which drives everything,
and for forgiveness,
and for forgiveness, which is love.
Jeez,
right?
Where'd that come from?
But
hokey smokes.
If you set up a structure in a certain way, it unleashes greed, or it unleashes love. And so, to me, when I look at corrupt bankers, which is,
we'll leave that.
Par for
Which
the
is
course.
which?
But it's because the structure is in place to allow that to happen, is my point. And I look at, for example, the state of Illinois is going broke, and we might look at our officials and say, hey, they're corrupt. But my question is, I look in the mirror and say, what is it about the electorate that allows these people to continue to do what they're doing? So technological change is happening so fast. One of the real underlying structural questions that people are asking now, in this most recent number that we had yesterday, is part of the question. Whenever you have a deep recession historically, a deep recession like we had in 2008, the recovery is also fast. Recovery's fast. Unemployment drops fast. It recovers fast. Employment dropped quickly. It's not recovering. And typically, there's a vacancy index.